Hi everybody, and welcome back to my new YouTube channel, Delta 4 Productions, where I'll be displaying and discussing shoulder sleeve insignia and pocket patches of U.S. Army airborne units of World War II and U.S. Army Special Forces units in Vietnam. What I'd like to do today, instead of showing you a specific patch, I wanted to show you a quick overview of the patches that I have and give you an idea of what I'll be discussing in the future. If you see a patch that you like or want to hear more about or want to know about reference material related to that patch, please give me a comment and let me know, and I'll get that on the drawing board and get it in the queue for you guys and gals so that I can discuss it more in depth. So this is one of my Rikers showing U.S. Army Special Forces units in Vietnam, and like most of my patches, you'll find some in here that are pretty common, and then some that are relatively common, and then some that are harder to find. And so in this Riker, you see a mix of Vietnamese and maybe some Thai-made pieces in there. Well, maybe a couple of jump wings. And then you see some things like down on the lower left, some Special Forces insignia, subdued insignia, and you see some German-made examples. You see one that was made in Okinawa. You see a first pattern subdued on twill version, which is pretty uncommon. And you'll see on the far left, bottom row, a reversed subdued colored variation that I got from a Vietnam vet. The rest are U.S. Vietnamese made pieces, and I'll pick some out in the future to get into more details about specific patches. This second Riker is SOG related, and you'll notice the first row is U.S. Army Vietnam and MACV patches, which of course were not exclusive to either Special Forces or SOG, but as the war wound down, members of SOG wore both of these insignias in lieu of the Special Forces patch after 5th Group had left Vietnam in the spring of 1971. You also see Special Commando unit patches, SOG Skull Burst patches, and a couple other patches that I'd be happy to get into if anybody would like to see and hear about a particular patch here. These are some OSS related patches from World War II, and just about every one of these is very, very difficult to find. They're very rare, but I can put you on the right path if you would like to get one of these, and you just have to tune into my channel and I'll be showing off some of these. I've already done a segment on the Jedburgh wings, and I'll eventually do one on some other OSS insignia that we see right here. In this bunch here, you can see several patches that were either made in Vietnam or in Thailand, and you'll see a mix of patches here, many of which were not Special Forces units per se, but utilized a lot of Special Forces qualified personnel in those units, and some of them are Special Forces units, Sigma, and some Delta patches. You see some Cambodian and Laotian jump wings and things like that. And again, if you see anything you want to see, just leave me a comment and I'll put it in the queue. This is one of my favorite Rikers. This has units from the 101st Airborne Division in World War II. The top center patch is the 501st Parachute Infantry Regiment, and that is a very difficult patch to find. It took me years to find that patch. You'll see an English-made 502nd patch, upper right. That's a parachute school patch from the 1940s on the lower right. So again, if you see something you like, let me know. This is an OSS Chinese Commandos grouping that I have. All of this insignia here, including the blood chit, belong to the same OSS man. And I have a letter from the original owner who got it from the veteran. This is a set that I'll definitely talk about in a separate video down the road. Now this one is up on my wall, and with apologies, I am not going to go get it down off the wall. So sorry about the lighting, but you get an idea of what's in the frame there, and these are standard, for the most part, fairly easy to find World War II airborne patches, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are tons and tons of variations of each and every one of those patches up there. For the most part, you'll find theater-made patches, you'll find error patches, all kinds of stuff. But I'm satisfied with what I have there in terms of displaying the big Army airborne units of World War II. And you will find some pretty rare ones in there. If you look bottom row, far right, second from right, it's hard to see, but that's an Italian-made 1st Special Service Force patch. Right above that is a U.S.-made Pathfinder patch, which is pretty tough to find. You'll see a reverse claw 17th Airborne Division patch. You'll see a really tough patch to find that was made in small quantity. It's a 101st Airborne Division patch. That's second from left, second from bottom row. And that's called a Type 8 patch. And that's a really difficult patch to find. And I'll probably feature that in one of my videos. If you see anything else you'd like to see, please let me know. These patches are up on the wall. And again, apologies for the lighting. And I'm not going to get this one down off the wall either. But this is a set of patches from Army Special Forces Mobile Strike Force or Mike Force units and Mobile Guerrilla Force units during the war in Vietnam. A lot of these are fairly common, a little bit expensive, but they're also heavily faked, and you really need to know what to look for so that you don't get ripped off. But there are a couple there that are tough to find, and I have a couple that I've never seen ever before. One of them I've seen in a picture of a Special Forces soldier wearing it, and the other I've never seen before at all in pictures or otherwise. So there are a couple of rare ones in there, a couple of fairly hard to find ones, and then you have some that are not too tough to find. So at some point I'll showcase a couple of these patches on my channel, and if you'd like to see one of these, let me know. I'll put it in the queue. These are a couple of 509th Parachute Infantry Battalion patches, and some of my patches I'll show you have been in reference books, really good reference books. And at the time they were in the reference books on all of them, I did not own them. I think for those patches I have that have been in reference books, and I'll show you the ones that have been in those books, I think it really adds to their authenticity and to their value. So thanks for joining me today. If you're returning, I appreciate that. Keep coming back. If you're new to the channel, this is your first video, please see my other channels where I'll actually discuss these patches in detail, tell you about where you might be able to find them, how you can find them, and share what I have with all you guys and gals who are interested in these patches and their history. So thanks again. Please comment, please like, please spread the word about the channel, and I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time with an in-depth look at one of these patches. And again, if you see one that you like, let me know. Have a good one.